What is going on, guys and girls? It is GhostRobo, and look what I have for you today. Dark Souls 2 Collector's Edition. This guy is absolutely massive. You know, you see the picture online, you read like, oh, it's this many inches tall. It does not do justice to how big this guy actually is. When I picked it up, I was like, wow, it's a big dude. So we're going to open it up and see what all is inside. Normally I don't dive into the Collector's Edition stuff, typically, but because I've been so anticipating this game, been so hyped for it, and it'll probably be one of my favorite games of the year, favorite series, all that stuff, I thought, why not? Let's go all out. So on the top, you've got the Black Armor Edition of the game, which just comes in a really cool case that's like embossed, with the knight, I believe, yeah. Embossed. Do I have? Yeah, I can show you my Xbox One or Xbox 360 version. If I pull it out here, it's like embossed, so it's all raised, which is really cool. So that comes also with some weapons that you get earlier in the game with a code, and the soundtrack for Dark Souls 2, which the soundtrack is really good. I'm actually going to be giving away this copy of the game. If you go check out my Part 1 walkthrough, more information about that there. But what we have up top is the art book, and as my copy of Dark Souls falls off the table, this art book should be pretty cool, because Dark Souls has really, I feel, unique art. Like, it doesn't really go down the whole, like, torture, gross lane very much. It just kind of stays in, like, a creepy, little bit gross, which I really appreciate, because I'm not like the biggest fan of like total blood and gore type stuff. But let's dive into this a little bit. It's the typical form factor for art books these days. They go in this kind of smaller form, and I'm going to try to just go through a little bit without spoiling anything. I don't know if there's any bosses in here or what, but some of this stuff you can see concept art, stuff like that. I'm guessing there's going to be some bigger cells of places and whatnot. It looks like a lot of concept art, all this pretty stuff. The game is really pretty. I know it's still on, quote, last gen, and people are hopeful for a next gen version, but it's pretty cool, and this art book looks to be a fun one to go through. Now, next up, we have a cloth map, and this is a map of the land, which is something that is very reminiscent of old-timey PC games, and Dark Souls does, in some ways, strive to be very challenging and very demanding of the player, like an older-fashioned game. So I think this is kind of fitting and a cool little touch. A cloth map here that we can open up and show you the lay of the land, all the world to see for you, the entire kingdom right there. I have barely been to any of these places. We start off... Where do we start off? These look like they're written in some language that I surely can't comprehend. So, starting off somewhere and venturing to all these cool places. But as a Dark Souls fan, this is kind of a cool, nice thing to have. Or if you don't like the map, you can probably use it as a tablecloth for your next dinner of macaroni and cheese. Now, the big prize of the whole package is the figure. So we're going to take him out now. And I'm really surprised that it's as big as it is. I was expecting something more along the lines of, like the Batman Arkham City figure, the Star Wars Old Republic figure. These are ones that I have. But this guy is actually pretty large and, like, not just tall, but, like, chunky as well. So let's see if we can take this off without damaging his swords, because he does have two swords that are here. One, play sword, and two. So I'm guessing he's a swordsman class dude, or at least he's just dual wielding, because that's a cool new thing in Dark Souls 2. Getting him out of here. Yeah, there we go. This guy's really nicely made. I can tell already just by the feel of him. He's big. I want to say it's like 13 or 14 inches, but again, like, compared to my head, it's pretty darn sizable. I mean, this is obviously a totally different thing, but like a blind box figure, like those little like vinyl figures, is this big, and there's this guy, so he's actually really massive. And he's got lots of good detail. If you look, all of his stuff has like gold, silver trim on it. Even on his back, there's wear marks on the armor, his pouch, everything looks pretty good. And he's got a base that's like molten rock or something. So we can put his swords in here somehow? Go in your hand. Go in your hand. Is there a... Does it tell me how to assemble him? Let's see. Remove the pommel, the knob on the end of this... Okay. So you can take off the little circle. I didn't want to accidentally break it. And then you can put this in here, and it will slide into his hand. And then we can pop it back on the hilt. one sword for this guy. And then we'll do the same thing with the second one over here. I actually really like this guy. And it's pretty definably Dark Souls. I know like a lot of their characters are like, that's just a knight, that's just whatever. But this guy looks very much like he's from Dark Souls, which I think is really cool, and serves as kind of a totem to my time in the game. Hopefully I'll beat it, and I'll surely beat it, and when I do, this guy will be like my trophy piece to say I completed Dark Souls 2. So the Collector's Edition, pretty cool. It's quite expensive. I want to say it was double 120, maybe 100. I think it was 120. If it was 130, that's even crazier. I don't know that it's totally worth it, but the fact that I really love the game kind of just cemented the deal for me. I don't really dip into collector's editions that often. Plus, when I saw how big the guy was, it's like, okay, that's substantial and worth having. The cloth map, a cool extra for hardcore fans, and the art book for anybody that's interested more in the lore side of things, or just even the art of things. It's kind of cool. They have some very seductive artwork for you as well, and weird crab creatures. I don't think there's any text in the art book. There's some weapons and stuff. There are mummies, and I like this kind of stuff. More of the scenery, the epic landscapes, I think are pretty fun to look through. I wish there was a little bit of text in there. I like some of the art books. I'm trying to remember which one did it. Maybe it was Bioshock Infinite. Some art book from last year added a little bit of text throughout, and I thought that was pretty cool, just to get some quick takes from the designers of the game. But this is fun nonetheless. Lots of cool pictures from Dark Souls 2 hardbound. Pretty awesome. What do you guys think of the Dark Souls 2 Collector's Edition? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Like I said, you can get yourselves a chance to win this Black Armor Edition right here, or for a different platform on my part 1. The game is great so far. Just to talk about that for a brief moment, I've played about a couple hours, and it's everything I wanted. It's basically like a more open and fun, I feel, version of Dark Souls 1. They've streamlined some stuff, but not taken away the challenge. They've added some things, but not made it a totally different game. It feels like a great transition piece. So for a game like Dark Souls 2, you're not looking for, it to go to some totally different, crazy style of game. You just want an evolution of the format from Dark Souls 1, and I feel like they've really done that, and I am enjoying the heck out of it. I hope you guys will check out my actual series on it, and I'm going to just chill with this guy for a little bit. We're going to take down some bosses and capture some souls and have a good time. Hope you guys had a good time. Enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like. Until next time, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Fantastic day. Drink some hot chocolate. We'll see you all later.